For those of you who may not know, my name is Kentera and I am back again with another video. So as you guys know, if you can tell by my intro, my channel is all about beauty and well-being. And I noticed some people that might seem like those two things kind of don't go together. Because we tend to look at beauty as something that's like superficial and somewhat vain, I guess. And I think for me, the reason why those two seemingly different topics fit together is because you can't have outer beauty without first being beautiful on the inside. It doesn't matter how much makeup you cake on. It doesn't matter how much, plastic surgery you do. It doesn't matter, how much you do on the outside. If your insides are not together, then, I just feel that, something's missing. Beauty radiates from the inside. And today's topic is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more so focused on the topic of well-being. I think that one of the biggest challenges that I faced during my depression is learning how to remain productive while you're depressed, because it's very cyclical. Like, it builds off of one another. So, it might look like, you get depressed, you're sad, you're very low energy. That's definitely a symptom of depression, not having a lot of energy. And so because you don't have a lot of energy, you can't be productive. Well, when you're not being productive, that means your to-do list is piling on top of each other. That pile of dirty clothes is getting bigger. You're going more days without showering. Your to-do list is just getting bigger. Which causes you to get overwhelmed, which makes you even more depressed. So it's very cyclical in nature. So I think that one of the biggest things that can help during seasons of depression is learning how to be productive and continue to push yourself even when you are depressed. So let's get straight into tip number 1. This may seem crazy or it may seem obvious to some, but my first tip is to make sure you are taking your vitamins. As you get older, vitamins, I remember being younger and my mom having us take our little Flintstone vitamins, but that was when we were like younger, like still kind of developing. And we were really small children, so maybe our doctor, told our mom we needed to be taking vitamins. I don't know. But I didn't, really feel the need to take vitamins. Well, last year, at the end of the year, I posted a video on Instagram about how I'd been depressed and how I'd been depressed the majority of 2019. It was a tough year for me. I'd gone through some things, and I really just chopped it all up to depression. And one of my high school friends saw my post and she DM'd me and she was like, hey, you should try this supplement or whatever. So that kind of just made a bell go off in my head. And I remembered that I'd gone to the doctor earlier that year in 2019, like around April. Now, mind you, it is December. I had gone to the doctor in April and I found out that my vitamins B12 and my vitamin D was low. So the doctor prescribed me, the vitamins, but I never went to the pharmacy to pick them up. I don't know. I just felt like I was really just depressed. And I just felt like the doctor was just trying to make me pay for some medicine. Like, I don't know. I just didn't think about it. Well, when my friend DM'd me on Instagram, it made me, like I said, remember that my vitamins were low. So I did some research on the symptoms of low vitamin B12 and low vitamin D. And sure enough, symptoms of both were low energy and depression. So I was like, I need to see if I go get these vitamins, if I can still get these vitamins, will it have an effect on my mood? So I called the pharmacy and tried to see if they could still fill my prescription. Luckily, they could. Even though the prescription was sent over to them in April and it was now December, they were still able to fill the prescription for me. So I go and I pick up my vitamins, and and I don't want to be dramatic, but so after my first day taking my vitamin D, the vitamin D was supposed to be taken weekly, and the vitamin B12, I was supposed to take it every day. So by the end of my first day of taking my vitamins, I noticed the thing was around that time, like the only thing I had energy to do was work, and I hated my job. So my job took it all out of me. Like I did not have the energy to do anything else when I got home, not to clean up, barely to shower. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all, like, because that's just real. Like, it has nothing to do with you being a dirty person. It has nothing to do with you being a nasty person. Sometimes if you are having a real tough go at it with depression, it will get to you like that. So coming home, it was, hard for me to find the energy to do hardly anything. So my first day after taking those vitamins, I come home, I notice I got the energy to go in the kitchen and wash dishes. So I was like, that's odd. Like, okay. So a few days passed, few weeks passed. I noticed a complete difference in my energy levels. And I know it was the vitamins. Like, I know that I was really depressed a lot of last year, but I think a lot of me not being able to get up and accomplish some of those tasks that I had on my to-do list had more so to do with my low energy levels than it did with the depression. Because yes, the depression does make it to where you don't want to do anything, but there will be times where I really wanted to move, but I did not have the energy to move. And I don't think that that was solely the depression alone. I think a lot of that was the low energy from my lack of vitamins. Oh yeah, and I am not a licensed healthcare physician or a doctor or anything like that. So before you go out and buy vitamins or anything like that, be sure to consult with your primary care physician or a licensed mental health care physician before you just go out and you buy vitamins, just to make sure it's not conflicting with anything else that you have going on. Just wanted to put that out there. Tip number 2, break your big daunting tasks down into mini micro tasks. When you're depressed, you're super overwhelmed, you don't have the energy to do anything. And then sometimes just the idea of starting on those real big tasks can be a lot. So for example, we have a second bedroom in our house, which mainly has my clothes in it and just other random, things that we don't have space for in our bedroom. So my second bedroom while I was depressed had gotten out of control, with just clothes being everywhere. So it was just growing and growing and growing, and it was just becoming more and more daunting. Like I was not feeling it, as far as cleaning up in there. What I did to be able to tackle this room was break it down into micro tasks. So, what I personally did was break the room down into small sections. That made it more manageable for me. I was able to stomach that versus the idea of having to go in there and do everything at one time. So, I broke the room up into 3 sections. And every day I was like, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to finish the first section of the room. Okay, clean that up, get it spick and span. Cool. Second day, go in there and hit the second section of the room, and so on and so forth. When you break those big tasks down into small tasks and you complete them, what you're doing for yourself is you're creating micro wins. Once you do that small thing, it's a confidence booster, and then it pushes you to want to be able to accomplish a little bit more and a little bit more, and it's kind of just like a snowball effect. That's why it's beneficial to take your big tasks and break them down into little bitty small tasks, because if you look at the whole task, as a whole itself, it's very easy to get discouraged. All right, so tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to create a daily detailed to-do list in order to ensure that you're getting everything accomplished that you want to accomplish within your day. So one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Patricia Bright. Some would describe her as an overachiever, a hard worker. She is a hard worker. She has a background in accounting, so she has that kind of like structured personality. And so I when she would talk about creating a to-do list by hour for her day, I was like, oh, that's just some overachieving stuff. Like, I can't be, planning out my whole day hour by hour. Well, since we've been self-isolating and in the house, and my days just hadn't been having any structure, I decided that I would provide myself with some structure by scheduling out my days. And so I scheduled out my day hour by hour, starting with breakfast and every single small detail that I wanted to accomplish in between. That was the most productive day, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you kind of just have this kind of abstract, unclear idea of what you want to accomplish for your day, I feel that you're least likely to actually accomplish those things, because it's kind of just up there abstract. You're like, okay, I know I need to run to the grocery store. I know I want to wash dishes. I know I want to like clean the room. And when you don't have any kind of like time frame for around what time you want to go and get it done, you're more likely to let it slip through the cracks versus you having an hour by hour schedule. And I used my phone. So like every hour or two, depending on how long it would take me to do a task, my phone would alert me that it was time to start the next task. So you're also, you know, having a feel for how time is moving, because when you go and you clean up a room, you get distracted, you start finding old stuff. Well, if you know, hey, I only gave myself an hour to complete this task, you're gonna go in there, you're not gonna BS, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna get it done. And then you get your next alert and you move on to your next task. Like, it helps you to, one, stay on track, and it helps you to account for where the time is going in your day. I would just say, don't knock it until you try it. Like, really try and like schedule. And you don't even have to schedule your whole day. Just like your 3 top priority tasks that you really want to get done. Schedule a time for them. It's going to create a sense of urgency, because you're like, okay, your little timer is going to go off on your phone. You're going to go ahead and get up, and you have, let's say, an hour or so to get it done. You know how much time you got to get it done, so you can't BS. You just got to go ahead, get to it, get it done. So I would definitely suggest scheduling out your days so that you have some structure and that you're able to ensure that you are getting the things done that you want to get done. All right. Tip number 4, get active. So if we think about that cycle of depression that I told you all about, with first it starting off with you being depressed, and then the low energy leading to low productivity, and then the low productivity leading to, your to-do list growing and you getting overwhelmed, which causes you to get more depressed. One thing that is known to decrease symptoms of depression is being active. Get outside, get some sunlight. Even if you don't want to get outside, get on the floor, get on YouTube, find a indoor workout. If yoga is your speed, do some yoga. If cardio is your speed, there's some indoor cardio options that you can do. If strength training is your speed, there are indoor, exercises that you can do to fit the lane of whatever it is that you like to do. Get active. It's going to, I don't know what the science is behind it. I think it increases your endorphins, which is your happy hormone. And, it just makes you happier, in addition to the fact that it is good for you. And one thing that I also enjoy about working out is it pushes you to your limits, and it makes you realize that you are stronger than what you thought your limit is or was, which allows you to apply that to your daily life. So before all of this stuff happened, I was able to work out with a group, do this group workout. And every day I was able to like push my limits. And, I would be talking to myself during the workouts, like, come on, just push, another second. And you're able to apply that same mentality to your daily life. So when you're struggling with things, you tell yourself, come on, push, you're stronger than this. Okay, let's just do one more. So definitely getting active will decrease your symptoms of depression, which will in turn increase your productivity, because if you are less depressed, you're more likely to be a little bit more productive. And our last and final tip is to spring clean. I know the last thing that you want to do while you're depressed is anything at all. You don't want to do anything. But let's just apply some of these tips that we've learned today. Breaking your big tasks up into small micro tasks. Don't be afraid also to ask for help with the people that live with you. Don't try to take it on by yourself, cleaning. Clean up, because when you're in a clean space, that's going to make you want to be more productive. It's going to make you want to get more things done. It's going to make you want to knock out that homework, that work that, we're all doing from home by being in a clean space. Your space is a reflection of what's going on the inside. And I know when you're depressed, your space reflects that. So let's just clean up our space, make our space somewhere where we want to be. We're happy to come home to. We're happy to sit in. It brings us peace to be in our space. That's just that. And it'll just lessen your depression. When you're in a space that's clean, that's aesthetically pleasing to you, that looks good to you, it's going to boost your mood. So that was my 5 tips. I'm also going to give you all a bonus tip. Give yourself breaks. When you're scheduling your day out and you're knocking these things off your list, don't overwhelm yourself. When you feel your energy coming back, don't dump all of this stuff on yourself. Give yourself breaks. Within that schedule that I told you all about, schedule in breaks so that you have the energy to keep going. If you work hard one day, reward yourself with a rest day in between, the days where you are being productive. I know some people might not understand, but when you are depressed, it is hard to get things done. So when you are getting things done, reward yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself by pushing yourself to the limit and pushing yourself past that limit, which could set you 4 or 5 steps back to where you're in a place where you're laying around, can't get up, can't do anything, can't manage to do anything. So those are my 5 tips for productivity while you're depressed. I hope these help. I genuinely hope these help. I wish you grace and peace and love on your journey, getting back to yourself, getting back to feeling like yourself. I know you can do it. I know we can do it. I'm here to encourage you. Please reach out to me. Feel free to find me on my socials, DM me if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling like you can't do it. We'll get through it together. And just remember that it's not linear. Your progress with your depression isn't linear. It's not any process. Contrary to popular belief, it isn't linear. It's going to have some ups and some downs, but I'm here for you. I am here with you. I'm going through this with you, and I know we can do it. So get out, go and take a walk, go and take a shower, go wash your face, go and do some breathing exercises, do something for yourself. Whatever it is that you enjoy, if it's reading, if it is whatever, cooking, whatever that is, painting your toes, do something for yourself today. Enjoy it. Enjoy every moment of it. And I will see you guys next time.